Hey everybody, it's Kelby with Fire Through Fog. I wanted to take the time to thank you personally for giving us your time to listen to these episodes and supporting us. And if you want to support us any other way, you can go to our Facebook group, facebook.com/groups/Fire Through Fog, where there's some other posts and all the episodes get posted there. So if you want to help out, spread this as far and as wide as possible, it would be greatly appreciated. Again, thank you for listening to our episodes, and I hope you enjoyed today's. Good evening, everybody. Kelby here with Fire Through Fog. Also here with the one and only Yuke. What's up, Yuke?
Not much, man. How's it going?
Good. How's your evening?
It was good.
Yeah.
Good.
Got us a little rain.
Love the rain.
Yeah.
Rain was nice.
Definitely good. Got your kids all taken care of at VBS and everything?
Oh, yeah. Yep. Loved it. Had fun.
Yeah.
Came home and crashed. So they're good.
There we go. We also have here with us tonight Drew on his, I'd say, what is it, third or fourth episode?
Third or fourth, yeah. Glad to be back.
What's going on, man?
Oh, nothing. Just had a good work day, good week. Ready for the weekend, though.
Sounds good, aren't we all? Busy weekend, busy July. Anyway, we are here tonight with no specific guest. We are just here with each other, going to give a little update on where Fire Through Fog is, kind of where it's going, where we feel it's been going based off of the past couple of months of work. So we've had some really good stories, enjoyed them. What have you guys thought of them?
They've been very, very powerful stories, and they've all been different, especially from my perspective. You know, I went through a lot from what you've heard, but hearing from everyone else is just, maybe mine wasn't so bad that I thought, because there's people with, that guy had cancer. Carrie Gray had her parents and brother pass away.
Yeah.
And I don't think I could go through that. I don't think I would be strong enough. But now that I know someone who has gone through it, you never know.
Yeah.
I mean, there's always someone that has gone through that and that can help you through it. So I think it's opened my eyes. Definitely.
Yeah. That's one of the biggest things that we wanted to talk about tonight, is the vision, where we think we are as Fire Through Fog and where we want to keep going. And the biggest thing is just, we have multiple bridges that I think we are for people, starting with just someone who, the ordinary person that just is sitting there, maybe feeling sorry for themselves, hasn't really had any trauma in their life or anything like that. They're kind of complacent, content with their life. So we feel that we could be, with our stories that we've had, is kind of be an eye opener for them and raise a little bit of awareness, possibly to prevent some of these things from happening, or future things to happening.
Yeah.
So that's one of our first bridges that I feel like we are.
Yeah. Not only to hopefully prevent something, but God forbid something happens and they go through an instance that we've gone through with these stories. They have a way to cope. They have a way to see kind of, the healing process.
Yeah. I
think Chad's story, he was sitting in a hospital at 14, 15 years old, however old he was. The mindset that he had, that he was getting through all that, that was a powerful moment.
Yeah.
Hopefully, again, nobody goes through those situations, but if they're listening to the podcast and they are going through that, or, they do in the near future of listening to it, they have a hope and they have a vision to see how to get through something like that. Pay
attention. Like, there's some of the lessons that we have learned are amazing, and some of the things that these people went through and learned about themselves, and how some of this trauma and, I guess, suffering has made them stronger and uncover this strength that they never knew they could have.
What really gets me going is that, like, most of the people on this podcast have been younger than,
That's for sure.
They've gone through these experiences and they haven't lived half of their life. And like, how do you cope with all this, especially if they don't have anyone with them and they're being this young? And like Chad was 15. How do kids go through all this traumatic experience? Like they're in the hospital right now with cancer and going through COVID. They can't see their families. They're just by themselves at a young age. They're not fully developed, and it's just insanely tough. I couldn't imagine.
Yeah. So, I mean, overall, we're thinking we're one big bridge between someone who has no trauma to someone that has trauma, and they're going to hear these stories and learn from these stories. But let's say we have that person that hasn't really had any trauma in their life, and all of a sudden, bam, just like we've learned, this stuff happens at the snap of our finger. They get they get some bad news, they get some unexpected event happen, and now what? They could hit rock bottom. They're just stuck there. Now they have to deal with this mourning if it's a loss of someone, or rebuilding their life, basically, if it's anything. So another bridge that we see ourselves as is the help, building the network that we have. We're trying to build this network that these individuals who are going through this, or just now finding out what it's like, they can come to this network and hear these stories and find a story that they're experiencing right now, and kind of know that person has gotten through this. So this will allow them to spend less time in that moment of grief and depression, or whatever feeling they're feeling. We want to be that outlet for them, that resource for them to spend less time in that moment.
Yeah, absolutely. Going forward, we're obviously still young in this, so we're gonna have, we'll roll out the Twitter handles, we'll roll out the Instagram stuff like that. Once we roll those out, feel free to reach out to us.
Yeah.
Add us, message us. We'll whatever we can do to help prevent something or help somebody through something. That's what we're here for. We're not here for, just to do a podcast for fun. It may have started out that way, but we've got higher visions than that now. So
yeah, there's definitely something there. I mean, we're building a library per se of stories for people to reference. I mean, yes, you have your self-help motivational people out there, which are great. And I personally think motivation's a temporary thing until you start taking action yourself and making these choices yourself. But with the network that we're trying to build, we're trying to get people that are maybe rock bottom, or preventing someone from hitting rock bottom, or helping them accelerate the recovery process. So that was another, how it all circles around with recovery. I mean, you get to that recovery phase after a traumatic event, you come back around and hear these stories, and then one day you're going to have a story that you can sit there and help someone, that your story could help someone else. It's just kind of a domino effect per se.
Yeah. We definitely want to unlock the mindset of, I don't have a story, or what do I have to talk about? Everybody goes through something, and, there could be somebody out there that could just be waiting for that one story to break loose, and then, that's all they need to get through something. Yeah. So, I think we've got a lot coming up for sure we got some really powerful stuff. I know one personally that, we'll have is mind blowing, for sure. You
said get rid of the mindset of I don't have a story. The other mindset that I would love to get rid of is it's never going to happen to me.
Nope.
Oh, absolutely.
You hear that so often, especially in the field that I'm in, is with construction safety. These guys have this invincible mindset that it's never going to happen to them. Oh, it's okay. I can skip this step. I've been doing it for years. But at the moment, like we've said, at the snap of a finger, bam, anything could happen. There's so many factors in life that could change. Someone working next to you, you don't know. You just do not know. So getting rid of that mindset would be a definite plus as well.
You don't have any preparation for traumatic experiences. No. Most traumatic, like you said, they come out of nowhere. You don't have any time to get ready for it. But we're here now for the post-traumatic. We're here to help you. We're here to reach out. Anything you need, just reach out. And you like you said, Twitter, Instagram. We're going to be the ones there to provide support. Yeah. And we have all these people on this podcast that can also provide support for you.
Dude, you just made a perfect point of what another big, like really what we are is we're prepping you for trauma. I mean, it's going to happen. Trauma is always going to happen.
No matter who you are.
Yeah. Can we prevent it all? No. It's going to happen, but Fire Through Fog can provide the prep, the awareness, the preparation to get through that trauma, or even bring that awareness to where it can prevent it. I mean, that was good, Drew. I appreciate that.
That's very powerful.
Yeah.
Just knowing that everyone goes through something, no matter who you are, what it is. Some people think depression is just a joke, but it's not, because there's a lot of people that I know who have had depression, who have had people who they commit suicide because they don't have anyone to talk to. And that's just not okay in my mind.
Yeah. So going back to what you said about, it's not going to happen to me. We want to get that stigma out of the way. What's the quote? And I may butcher this, but adversity breeds success.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure that's what the quote is.
Yeah.
On the other side, complacency breeds failure.
Yeah.
Or tragedy. That's something that goes hand in hand together. So
yeah, and along the lines of all these sayings, it's these traumatic events or anything that you lost it's an obstacle. And another thing is to remember is obstacles are opportunities for growth. It's the biggest thing. And providing these stories, showing you people growing, and these lessons you can get can just put all that in your toolbox and help you grow and move through this and recover quicker. So that's the biggest thing. And speaking of lessons, what's one of the biggest lessons you guys have learned from any of these stories? I mean, personally, I'll start it off. The biggest thing was with Jacob getting hit by the car, and this one stuck with me from the beginning. It was our first episode, and he said, when you suffer, that's the only time you really grow in life. It builds your strength. You get stronger. It uncovers some unknown strength that you could have. And that you've seen that through every story, the resilience, the strength that people get from this and recover and all of this. So suffering, he says, it's a necessity in life. And that's what really stuck with me. And that kind of just catapulted this.
Yeah. I don't necessarily agree with the whole suffering.
Yeah.
I do agree with the aspect.
It's a bad word. Like
suffering's maybe not the word,
word.
But I know what you mean. I know what you mean. I know what he meant. But the one thing for me throughout all these stories, there's one thing that ties them all together. You know what it is?
I don't.
Mindset.
Yeah.
It's when you have your mindset that you're going to succeed, you're going to make it through it.
Yeah.
Or you're not going to let leukemia hold me down. I'm going to do what I love to do. I'm going to hold those bass tournaments. I'm going to,
yeah.
I'm still going to ride a motorcycle.
Yeah.
It's a mindset. It's all mindset.
Mm-hmm.
If we can help to unlock the mindset, trauma unlocks something in a person that not a lot of other things could.
Yeah.
I mean, I think there's a switch that flips there. And I think you have two options. Mm-hmm. You either get your mindset right and you succeed and you push through,
or you die.
Or you waste away.
That's adapt or die.
You let it go.
That's the biggest thing with resilience. I mean, that's resilience, adapt or die.
Absolutely.
And that's the biggest thing I've heard on this whole thing, the resilience of these people. And it's almost forced, but it's also, you have a support system of people who have their own internal fires that are shining on you. And that is it right there. A fire, you're just building it together. Your fire may be minimal. Mm-hmm. It may be burning ashes at this time. But when you have that support system that's helping you build up, and then you're also forced to start thinking differently, like you were up against the wall here.
Yeah.
You're on the rock bottom. Like the only way is up. So, I mean, you either adapt or die. You climb out or you're done. And that's where you see a lot of these suicide and stuff coming through. So Fire Through Fog's here to kind of provide that. I mean, we're here to provide the stories. We're here to provide the awareness. We're here to provide the help, the network, the knowledge, the lessons to help you recover faster.
Yeah. And just to be brutally honest, we need to be better, as hosts of this, we need to be better to get that stuff rolling.
Oh yeah.
We can sit here and preach about having resources and want to help.
Yeah.
To reach out, but we've got to get that going. So we apologize for not having that up and going for people that need that right now. But we're going to get there.
Yeah, and speaking of that, we have our stories, our foggy stories. I guess I kind of say these episodes, but we're also looking to start a Stoke the Fire episode. Mm-hmm. That one's going to more focus on providing resources, be more resource specific, focused on what those resources are. Because I mean, speaking about this before, we said these people that come on, these individuals that come on with their stories, they have resources. They discovered them through the process, and they're giving them to you in their story. But this stoke the fire, it might be me by myself. It could be Yuke by himself. It could be us together. It could be Drew. It could be someone else that comes on with some extreme knowledge base. They're an expert in something. We're all experts in something, but they could be an expert in something that you need that day.
Yep.
So they'll come on and drop bombs, they say, and give you a little bit of that knowledge and help you. It could be in, like we said, we've been saying in the episodes, FIRE was broken down into an acronym, which is F is fitness and health, which could be anything from mental, physical, spiritual, social, your social health, your fitness, the relationships and everything. Intelligence is I. That could be emotional intelligence, interpersonal, intrapersonal, linguistic, etc. R is resilience. We've talked about that a lot. I mean, it's really my favorite one, I'm pretty sure. And that could be anything from mindfulness, reaction, control, flexibility, all that. Just adapt or die.
Mm-hmm.
So, and then E is efficiency. That's where discipline comes in, having a structure, no excuses. Just that's where spending less time in that moment, just having the discipline to get out of it. So just being efficient with everything you do in life, working out, eating right, your relationships, everything, your mind. It's just being efficient with that stuff so you don't get off the track too far, because we're going to get off the track.
Yeah.
The path, whatever you want to call it, you're going to get off of it. So just building that internal fire.
It's how far you come off the path.
Right.
Correct.
Yeah.
Spending that time off that path. How long are you going to stay? Are you going to go too far, or are you going to come back? Are you going to use these resources that are provided to you through fire, through fog, to work your way back to that path?
Yep.
So, yeah, Drew, what was the lesson that you learned?
So when you said mindset, it really, and then you just said that you can let these resources help you. It's all up to you from this point forward, because there's a lot of good people out there, but there's a lot of bad people out there. Mm-hmm. And I read something today from a Bible verse, not really a verse, but from One Day You Talk to Jesus, like the book I've been reading. And it said that the devil will put enough people on this earth that will, talk about you, talk bad about you. And that's what a lot of people worry about. And Kelby, you said earlier this week, Drew, stop worrying about what people think about you mm-hmm. and what you've gone through, because it doesn't matter. At the end of the day, there's always someone that's going to be there for you, whether it be God or anyone. Yeah. Don't let that person that you don't even know break you down. Don't let social media break you down. There's going to be resources like us to help you, and you gotta take the stand and you gotta fight through it.
And at the end of the day, it's your story, man. Like we said that in your podcast. That's your story. No
one needs to judge that.
You can't, and you cannot compare your story to anybody else's. You can't say, well, they got it worse than I am. This is your story. But it ultimately is how long you spend that time in that moment of depression or being down. Like we said it over and over. You cannot do life without people. And I know we've talked about this before. Be vulnerable, reach out, and ask for the help.
It is so hard I know it's so hard for people to reach out, but it'll change your life and it will save your life.
There's not one person out there that I can't think of, if I reached out to him and said, man, I need help, that they would not help me. There's not one person I can think of, because as humans, that's what we're here for. It's in our nature.
It's unfortunate because recent times people are less compassionate. And that's what we need. We need the people that are compassionate.
Absolutely.
That's the people that want to help. Obviously if you called me at 2:00 in the morning and said, hey, I need help, I'm going to be there. That's who I am. That's the compassion within me. And I know the same for you. Right. Mm-hmm. So don't, it's unfortunate that the times that we live in have created and bred those stigmas of mind your own business and do you instead of, reaching out.
Yeah.
It's like you're almost criticized for reaching out or you're the weird one or you're
being nosy.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Right.
And that's, even if that's part of just this movement here, is just building a network that you can feel comfortable of reaching out. You've got 3 of us right here that you can that would be more than happy to help you. Like I said, there's not one person that I can think of that if I reached out to him and said, I need your help, that they would not help me. So just, you cannot do life without people, or it's going to be very hard to adapt, but very easy to die if you do not reach out for people.
And unfortunately, there's people that don't have the people that we have, that, you know, you can go to anyone. They're growing up in terrible areas, but there is one person that will not break you, and that's God. And he will always provide, and he will provide someone. There's always someone.
Yeah. Yeah. That's good stuff. Well, I mean, we just really hit it hard there.
Barreled through that one, didn't
A lot
we?
of information.
It was good. I mean,
It is.
I look forward to where we're going. We have tons of stories that, oh my gosh, we have endless stories out there. So if you know someone, send them to us.
And they're all different too.
We'll listen, because there's some of these stories that they've come on here, and I think it's kind of not broke them. I hate to say the word broke them, but kind of made them realize, like, talking about it, it was a lot harder than it was, but it was great. They needed it. They needed it.
Yeah. How many times have we touched base with the people that we've had episodes with, and they reach out, and man, I didn't know how much that was going to help me, but
exactly.
You know, this has opened my eyes, and, you know, I really appreciate the opportunity. So, you know, we are forever grateful for those people that come on and share their story, and that, you know, the bravery on some of the stories that they it takes to tell. Man,
right. Open themselves up like that. That's powerful. That's strong. That's courageous. I mean, it's brave to do. That's being vulnerable, letting that out, and just letting people live. You're putting your hand right out there, telling your story, opening yourself out for people to come in and hear that, and we'll be there.
It's a very bold and scary thing to do, because, like I said before, people do judge. Yeah. And if you go through like a horrible thing, your house burning down, people are going to say stuff like, "Wow, like, of course, like her house burned down, or her parents died." Like, they're going to talk smack, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, like, you just got to push through it, and you got to know who's there for you, and you got to get rid of the negativity out of your life and just come through.
Yeah. And when we build this as big as we can, we'll be that bigger light than that small percent of, I guess, haters or negativity.
Because that's the biggest thing, is social media really portrays a lot of that.
There's a lot of negative on social media. Social media goes through a lot of, and rightfully so. You know, there's some sketchy decisions that big tech make, but
even
aside from that,
but
there's so many good opportunities for us to do good things on social media.
I mean, let's flood it with positivity. I mean, it's a free tool that's set right in our lap that we can just use.
It's right there.
And that's what we're going to do. We're going to start flooding it. Right now, we just have our Facebook group. You can follow us there. It's like facebook.com/group/firethroughfog. So you can follow us there. We have the podcast, which is on about every platform out there. Website will be coming. Instagram's going to be coming around with some posts. Like you said, we'll have the Twitter going.
Yeah, I've got my Twitter up right now, so it's at FTF Yukon. So reach out to me, add me, send me messages.
Like, reach out. Please reach out. I mean, we're here to help, and some people don't realize that. I mean, I'll give you my personal number, and if you need to call us or reach out to anyone.
Judgment free zone, zero tolerance.
Absolutely.
No matter what, we've got you. Yeah. So if you guys don't have anything else, I think we hit everything we wanted to hit tonight, and I appreciate both of your time tonight.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Sure.
So, all right. Well, again, everybody reach out if you need it. We've got you. We've got your help. Just tell someone. But thank you for your time tonight. Everybody have a good one.